Whoa! Here we are. I'm Father Christo, and we are at Napa today. And this is Talk Your Talk. We're hearing you, all of you from Napa. And I want to see what Father Matthew has on his hat. Am I here saying, whoa! Like a real Middle Eastern man. Arab, what is this about?
Yes, culture.
Yes.
Culture. We celebrating the culture.
There's a reason to celebrate. Trinidadians like, oh God, we like to lime and everything is a celebration. So you have to find out the essence of the celebration. What you're celebrating? Oh God, Lord.
Look more
Lord.
Everybody on stage,
Wait, cool on that. We get the rhythm is talk your talk. We hearing you. Talk your talk.
Talk your talk.
No. Talk your talk, we hearing you.
Where you bring this madman from?
Talk your talk, we hearing
Where
you.
you bring
Talk
the
your
madman
talk,
from?
we hearing you.
Talk your talk, we hearing you.
So what are you talking about?
We here to talk about celebration.
Tell them more.
Well, you know, too much at times is get carried away with celebrating things. And you see me see loved ones and families and celebrating of death of a loved one in a funeral. Not so, Father?
Yeah. Because it's more about relationship.
And not to mention, the only time I see the church full is on New Year's and Old Year's when they're celebrating Christmas and the New Year.
See you Catholics, Christmas, Easter, and ordinary occasions.
Yes. I see you, and I'm not a CEO Catholic. I go to church every time. Father could attest to that.
But what we're trying to tell everybody want to celebrate, but there's a meaning, an essence. Yeah. You have to know why you're celebrating, because sometimes you go to a funeral and they're celebrating.
And you have to know how you're celebrating and what you're celebrating, a time and a place for everything.
There's moderation. You have
Yes.
to have moderation.
The Bible tells you that, you know. There's a time for peace and a time for war. A time for sowing and a time for reaping. A time for joy and a time for sorrow.
So we want to go across. We want to hear from London. Where we hearing again? From Brooklyn, from Icacus and Talker. Talk your talk.
London, big up.
Let me hear what it means to celebrate. Why should we celebrate? In what spirit we should celebrate, right? And what it means to celebrate. Just don't celebrate for celebration's sake and overindulge.
And don't forget the reason for the season. Too much at times we forget the reason for the season.
And the reason, yes, because something are grounded in spirituality.
Yeah.
But as a cliche, what's the reason for the season? Who's the reason for the season?
You know, Jesus is the reason for the season, and also to remember family life and to share and help someone in need.
Right.
You know, too much at times we focus on gifts and what we receive. You know, we don't focus on giving back. And Christmas, I would like to challenge the viewers out there to give back to somebody. You know, share your ham, your turkey, invite them in your house. You know, share with the underprivileged.
But not only Christmas, there are other religious national events we celebrate. Be in the spirit of it.
Yeah.
You know, Diwali is, it's light over darkness.
Yeah.
You too could enter that spirituality. Just don't eat the curry.
Don't eat the curry and go. Don't eat the curry and leave.
You know, you have to ground it in a meaning. You have to ground it in a temperance.
relationship,
In relationship. Because it's more about people.
Exactly.
Even Carnival has its temperance.
Exactly.
It's people connecting each other,
And
dancing in
creativity.
a real, modest way.
Yeah.
And celebrating. We can't go the extra and it's just Carnival what's the next fete? So the whole year is fete. Trinity like a party.
Right. And we must know when to stop. We don't know when to stop.
Quiet.
All Ash Wednesday people fetting.
Well, yes,
And beyond.
Cool down.
Yes, and cool down.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
be careful what
But
spirit
cool
you put
down in
on
a
it.
moderate way and Jesus
They say
loving
it's
way.
smart. All of a sudden, something to cool down
Yes, all of
and
a
discipline yourself and control yourself
All
and
of a sudden.
abstain because you're cooling down with the same,
All of a
kind of
sudden.
festivity.
Exactly.
So everything is a fete.
You have no
Everything
limits.
cannot be a fete.
All of a sudden.
Talk your talk. We hearing
No
you.
limits. We are here live at Napa, Port of Spain, but we want to hear from London. Sister Monica. She's all the way live from London on Skype. So Monica, talk your talk because we're hearing you.
Because people need people, and people like any occasion to celebrate. Because people are so absorbed in the things that they have to do, or their stress, their anxiety, their worry, their concerns, that it's like a free up. But only we're experiencing a lot more a free up to the other extreme. And I think that is what, we have to be more aware in caring about each other. You see, we're so absorbed in ourselves now, we're not even aware of the other one's need. And it's very much so, especially in a big society. It can be more difficult. So I think there is a need. I think there's a need from the priest, from the pulpit, that we're all standing in need.
Yeah,
You
but
wanna-
how should we celebrate?
Well, it depends on the individual. Some people might like to just read a book and just get away from everything, switch off. Other people want to have a fete, free up yourself. It depends very much on the individual, and it's something that we have to learn to respect of each other. But not going to the other extreme, because you have now, to some people say freeness, well, you can come with no clothes for that matter. And I mean, and it's not far from that now. And I think, we all have to take some kind of stand on what we believe is respect for each other, because it's about respect for each other.
Thank you, sister. Have a pleasant day. Actually, the church teaches us about temperance. Oh gosh, temperance. Temper yourself. There's a time and place for everything. Temperance is ordering your passion, in an ordered way.
You're talking like a priest there, man.
Well, he's a priest, I'm not a priest. He's a priest.
No, but everybody must order your passion and order desire. That's what we call temperance.
Time and plate.
Time and place.
Time and plate.
Talk your talk. We're hearing you. We are live here at Napa. And we're going all the way to Brooklyn. Brother Joe, are you there? Talk your talk. We're hearing you. Celebratory mode. How should we celebrate? Why celebrate? What's the essence behind celebration? Let me hear you, Joe. Talk your talk. We're hearing you from Napa, Trinidad.
The question is asked, how shall we celebrate? We shall celebrate like King David. He danced and praised and gave thanks, which is shown in Psalms 118, Psalms 33, and Psalms 150. We need to have priests with dynamic and charismatic personality, individuals that can relate to what is happening, able to put a spark of life and energy into a service, able to use the homily to relate to in what is happening today and give you a sense of hope, taking in consideration the community and the culture they are located in. Remember, we are directed to go out into the world and spread the good news, that we may make a joyful noise unto the Lord.
In Tobago, we celebrate a lot of events. Firstly, we celebrate Village Church Harvest. Every week of the year, a different village celebrates Church Harvest. We start with Pembroke the first Sunday of the year. What do? We go to the church for our blessings, and then we visit people in the village. We visit their homes, we eat, we drink, and we socialize. Another event for us in Tobago is the Fisherman Fest. All the seaside villages celebrate Fisherman Fest once a month. Every month a different village celebrate that fete. What do? We go watch the main attraction, which is the boat races, and then we go around the village to different homes, we eat, we drink, and we socialize. Another main event for us again in Tobago is Christmas. We love Christmas in Tobago.
We are celebrating people, but in our celebration, it must be purpose-driven. There must be no excessiveness. When we celebrate, we must never degrade our value system. Remember, we are children of God. We are always ambassadors for Christ. In our celebration, self-discipline is important. Yes, we celebrate. We must celebrate, but we must celebrate within boundaries. Our values must always remain intact. Talk your talk. We're hearing you. I'm Dexter from Seekers. Talk your talk.
So what is important too is that there's a day after. Sometimes people out there, you have to find out there's a day after. You can't just overindulge and over-celebrate for everything.
I like that.
And then there's a day after. There's an Ash Wednesday. There is another day after the wedding. It's a marriage.
Yeah.
Yes,
There's more than the
You're
wedding
talking.
day.
You're
So
now
it's
talking. You're now
important
talking.
that
Talk your talk. I'm listening.
You must have temperance leads to self-control, and it calls for discipline.
True that,
Temperance is just not celebrate for everything. Wait, cool yourself.
Is he
We ain't getting through to nothing,
He tempering, man.
Yeah, no, but you have to cool it.
You're doing the same thing.
and now we celebrate and we understand the relationship, and more than it is people and you know, and not things, and things can't come to possession. So every little celebration we have a meaning, and it is centered in a
You're going and people wake. You're going and people wake and you're drinking until you're drunk.
Oh yes, sometimes we go to
And not to mention carnival for time, it's okay to go about gosh, drink in moderation.
Moderation, and don't drink and
Drive.
don't drink and drive.
even sometimes we go to a celebration, right? And the first person in line is in church, and they grab food to take home.
You ever see that in the Catholic Church? Aye, aye, aye.
Take your time.
But do we celebrate with others in mind?
Right,
That's the question.
That's the question. You must put some otherness, other-centric in it. Talk your talk.
We hearing you.
Talk your talk. We hearing you. We are going to Toko Matlot now. Father Crazy, we want to talk about celebration, why and how we could. Talk your talk. We hearing you. All the way from Matlot, Toko. Let me hear you, Crazy.
Well, as you said, Trinis like to fet. We know about celebration. That is core to us, right? I would say in order to celebrate in a way that that is pleasing to God and that does good to others, first thing is not to celebrate in excess. You know, we may share alcohol, we may have a good time, but to know that you don't have to go overboard with things. You do things in moderation. And you do things in a way that respects myself and respects others. So sometimes we take celebration as an excuse for lewd behavior, or as an excuse to get drunk, as an excuse to disrespect another, whether it is in banter and pikong or whatever. But to recognize in whatever I do, I need to ensure that I respect myself and others.
Temperance leads to self-control, and it calls for discipline.
We shall celebrate like King David. He danced and praised and gave thanks.
We have to be more aware in caring about each other. You see, we're so absorbed in ourselves now, we're not even aware of the other one's need.
First thing is not to celebrate in excess, but to recognize in whatever I do, I need to ensure that I respect myself and others.
Time and a place for everything.
Talk your talk. Let me see you do it. Talk your talk, we hearing you. Talk your talk, we hearing you.